the creation that we come up with innovations that help the nation. It is in way of the creation that we generate sufficient resources to fund government by way of taxation. Has happened elsewhere. It's happening in Asia. It has happened in Europe and the Americas and all that. And this continent, it is a ripe time that people took it upon themselves to do the right thing, elect the right people.
I like that. Leadership have like 5 steps: position leadership, influence leadership, achievement leadership, impactive leadership. It means like you impact the people to be leader, and then work with the people you have impacted. When you look behind, in all years you have been working with, in the government, in the churches, which level do you found yourself?
I do not wish to blow my own trumpet because normally when you start talking about yourself, this is what you have done and all that, you lose it out. Yes. You wait for feedback from people. Okay. So I would rather people judge what I have done as opposed to me judging myself. Yeah, but I focus on giving my best when I'm in office. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Otherwise, this is the last question I was supposed to ask. But for me, I can put you somewhere. I can put you in impacting leader, where you impact other people to be leader. It was interesting. I went for Mazish burial service of Joy. I know you remember her. And then I heard he wasn't there, but they laid the letter. Joy was written before she passed, that the person who will read her burial will be Ambassador Mubea. I was like, how? And this showed me that you are a person who can be impact people and be trusted with people, and people can count you as right friend. And I'm really grateful. So as I conclude, what is dream of leader do you have for Africa?
For me, I am looking forward to a leader who is focused on leaving a legacy based on the impact on the young people. A leader who, after the exit, will be remembered for many years for what they did. Not because of the things they posted about, but the things people saw. A leader who has a burden for the nation. A leader who has a burden for the continent. Genuine burden that you have at night you are sleeping, you're losing sleep because you want to see certain things happen. I want to see, like in our nation, when I see some primary schools have not been developed, I feel sad that 60 years after independence, we are there. No, that's the kind of a leader I have in mind.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate and for welcoming us in your place and caring for us for everything. We are really grateful to have you as a father, as a mentor. And anytime we need you, I believe you'll open the door for us again.
It was a pleasure talking to you about leadership, about my experience, and a cross range of issues that have been bedeviled our nation and the continent. I look forward to another conversation. Yeah. May God bless you, and thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. I can tell you, people maybe something this thing you feel like they must know one day entire Kenyan will watch this YouTube. What will be your message for Kenya? If there was like this assembly where they fight all Kenya to come in one place and you was the speaker, what will be your message for me?
My message will be simple. Fellow Kenyans, we have the best country in the world. Let us love it. Let us be thankful to God for this blessing of a unique nation. Let us do everything that shows that we love our country. Let us not go throwing papers in the streets all over, but let us actually see papers on the streets, we pick them and put them where they belong because we have a beautiful country. I have traveled in many continents of the world, many countries, but I can tell you, I have not seen a nation as beautiful as this nation. God bless.
Thank you, guys. I know you're gonna like this. I know this is gonna inspire you, and I pray that this wisdom he has shared, someone gonna pick it and feel like that is the leader they was talking about and use it. See you next time. Shalom. As I said, I'm King Landolaki Airways from Korwa Ministry, and we are in the show of Room of Wisdom and Truth. And in the Room of Wisdom and Truth, we focus about three things. As I said before, we speak about leadership, we speak about business, and building a family which trusts in the Word of God. And today, we are blessed to talk about leadership. And that is the reason why, as you know, always we choose the right person, man of full of wisdom, a man who has been doing this thing. That is the reason why we are here. So I will show you and I will let you guys that person to introduce himself to you. But before we go there, we are going to speak about Kenyan governance system, empowering citizens and protecting power. That is our topic today, but I want you to understand the reason why we are speaking about this. We are speaking because we want leadership. We can trust our children to be in a safe place. We are looking at our generation. We are looking for generation to come. What are we doing it today to make sure that the generation to come tomorrow is in a safe place? We are thinking what is it has been wrong in the past in the way we can collect it today. That is the reason why we choose someone who have that knowledge, who have that skills, so that he can be able to help us. As always, I ask you guys, do subscribe, like, share, and comment. And I want to let you see the wise person and let him introduce himself as we continue this conversation.
Thank you. My name is Ambassador Michael Mubea. I love the Lord Jesus Christ as my personal Savior. By profession, I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and I'm also the moderator of Parklands Baptist Church. Thank you.
Ambassador, I know we'll give you hard time by using one microphone today. And thank you so much for giving us opportunity to talk to you. And thank you for just making this time to be here so that you can be able to talk with us. As person who said like you are an ambassador, and now you are saying also you are ambassador in the kingdom of God there. How was that journey? For you coming, serving in government as ambassador, and now also keep making an influence in the kingdom of God, also representing God. How that journey was look like to you?
I'll answer it by way of saying that when I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and I'm an advocate, most of my friends were like, can an advocate get saved? There is that misconception that an advocate cannot get saved. And I would always refer them to 1 John chapter 2, verse 1, where we have an advocate, Jesus Christ. That's what the Bible talks about. So I want to tell them, if Jesus Christ is an advocate, I too, a follower of Jesus, I'm equally an advocate, but of the High Court of Kenya. The second title is a good one. Yes, I have been the ambassador of Kenya to Ireland, where I served the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for a period of about 5 years, and I acquired the title ambassador. But even before that, I was an ambassador of Jesus Christ, because that's what we are called in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5. So I'm an ambassador through and through. It's a beautiful journey.
Okay. So when we look like at this what we are in today, a generation we are in, which have like corruption, different stuff like that. One thing, like before we invite you for this show, I was searching who are you, and one thing they said like Mubea is anti-corruption leaders in Kenya who has never been involved in any corruption. I was like, is it like maybe ambassador writing this on his behalf, or what is it going on? I just remember when also Moses in the Bible, he said like if there was a man who was very humble and you have humanity in the Bible, Moses said he was the best one. I was like, is the ambassador take this opportunity to write this on the Google what happened? But when you look at it like in this generation, where there is full of corruption and different stuff, How have you yourself managed not to involve in such a kind of things? As Christian or as ambassador?
I will attribute this to my upbringing. My mother was a very strict. My mother is a very strict mother. Now she's not. She's still alive, and I thank God for her. And she was very strict. And when we were very young, she gave us a story, which I keep giving, that there were two boys. And these two boys were, each one of them was given an egg. And they were told, go into the forest. Where you find that God is not there, break the egg. So the two boys went into the forest. One checked around, scanned the environment, and knew God is not here. They broke the egg. The other one came back and said, there is nowhere that God was not present. So he did not break the egg. And our mother was like, God is present everywhere. So fear God. Even when nobody is watching you, God in heaven is watching you. So that was like the investment in terms of good values, And here we normally talk about not so much about corruption, but we talk about ethics, integrity. Those are the titles that we use, because sometimes when we talk about corruption, some people think I'm not corrupt because I'm not in a government office, I'm not stealing, so I'm not corrupt. But they lack integrity. They are lying, they are cheating, they are doing all manner of things. And they are not corrupt because they have not gotten an opportunity to engage in corruption. The moment they get it, they actually become corrupt. So the main term here is integrity. So we are called as believers to be men and women of integrity. There's a time I had a talk show on family radio, and I was telling the audience, like these mobile phones we have, they have actually led us into more sins because lying has increased. One time I was walking in the streets and I could hear somebody just here in City Hall, and he was telling the other person on the other side of the call that I am arriving Kenyatta National Hospital. Now the guy is in City Hall and he's lying to the other one. Integrity. So when you actually start measuring integrity from that context, you'll find that we have fallen short of the glory of God, and it's a time for reset. Let's get back to God. Yeah.
When you said that, you remind me what my daddy told me. He came one day, he was born as a sixth son. And always, when you are a sixth son, always there be kind of sugar, some kind of honey. And when we are young, I think we like it. And sometimes they will come and they ask, who took honey? And everyone is like, no, I'm not the one. And now the question once was like, are you guys corrupted? And he would invite every person in his own now, like, are you corrupted, Lucky? And I remember looking at him, I told him, no, I'm not corrupted. And he told me, have you ever been in office maybe where they trust you with like 10 million and 20 million and you supposed to deliver to the people? I said, no. I said, then you can't say you are not corrupted. Until you are in the place where there is only 20 million, 100 million. And now, after 3 years, ask you if you are corrupted, now you can be able to answer such a kind of question. Now I understand what he was mean. So the question we have here is Kenya government system empowering citizen or protecting power? What would be your opinion concerning this?
The government of Kenya has three arms, as we all know. We have the executive, we have the judiciary, and of course, we have parliament. The executive is elective. We elect presidents, we elect governors, we elect members of parliament, senators, and even MCAs. The judiciary, that one is not elective. These are appointed through meritocracy. Then we have parliament. Again, parliament is elective. These people go and seek your votes.
Yes.
In other words, these serious arms of government are in office courtesy of the people.
Yes.
So the people are involved.
Yes.
So when you talk about the extent of involvement,
Yes.
it is to that extent that whoever is in office is a courtesy of the voter.
Yes.
So would we then say that the voter is not involved? The voter is seriously involved. You know, so to me, I think the people are seriously involved. They have they always confronted with the choices to make, even when it comes to who is in office. So the public is empowered. That's my position.
Also, when we are speaking, when we say that multiple shareholder collaboration, are we witnessing share leadership or share silence while the power stay where it has been always?
I think we are talking about shared because, like I have just indicated, we have devolved governments, and of course we have the national government.
Yes.
Devolved government had very clear objectives of involving the local people in terms of addressing the needs and also drawing the services closer to them. That's why an MCA who sits in the county assembly
Yes.
has a vote, has a voice
Yes.
to articulate the challenges of his people at that level.
Yes.
So again, I say that people are involved to that extent, and they are truly empowered. And I look at this concept as a very good concept in the sense that I know we have challenges, but the challenges are not attributed to the governance structure. The challenges will be are attributable to people sitting in those offices. You know, you can have a good car, very good car,
Yes.
but a bad driver. So the bad driver may blame the car,
Yeah.
but the moment you give that car to a good driver, you realize the car is very good.
Yes.
So I think we need to deal with the issues of who is driving our vehicles as opposed to the vehicle. And many times I see people making the mistake of focusing on the vehicle as opposed to the driver. Yeah.
When you are speaking like that, always, sometimes we look at the vehicle instead of looking at driver. It positioned me in a situation maybe I can think and ask this question. When we vote, we look at you as a father, we look at you as a mentor, and for any position you have been serving or where you and talking to us as youth in church and different places, we can see you are a true leader, you are a caring father. So, but what we ask concerning our generation to come, we are asking where are we going to leave our children, or how are we going to raise our children? Because we reach the time we vote someone to be in power, come in, but always you found out there's people who come and say this it is not working this way. We go out, we say this should not be like this, and the result always will be like we have people who pass away, who are our brother, who are our younger brother, who are our father. But we are looking at it like, is it the same heritage we're gonna give our children? Or is there anything we can do to make it better? If there is something we can do better today for Kenya, to feel like every children have right to speak his mind, have right to vote someone and come in power. What is it doing it to do to make sure that that Kenya is a reality for our children, for us and our children to come?
I think you bring in a very important point that I've been asking my friends around, that as a nation, we must ask ourselves, what do we want to see in Kenya 20 years from today, 50 years from today? What do we want to see? And if you want to get it well, break it down to your family. You have a young child who is 10 years. In 20 years, that child will be 30 years.
Yes.
What will be the opportunities out there for this child? It's a serious question we must interrogate. Unfortunately, Kenya, we have perfected what I call blame game. We always have somebody to blame. And we always look for somebody to blame, but never ourselves. But remember, my brother, all of us are leaders. Many times we focus on political leadership, but leadership begins from home. Even these our children, they don't listen to what we say. They look at what we do.
Yes.
What is that we are doing? That is what is ministering to them. That is what we are passing to them. How we live our lives. I remember one time a friend told me that he was late to drop the child in school, and therefore the driving was not the best. He was overlapping, and the young child asked the father, "Must you do this?" The father felt his conscience was seriously pricked, and he stopped that habit. Now you see, this is a child impacting on the father.
Yes.
But take it the other way around, that you make that the norm. The child now knows breaking the law is normal and is the right way to do it when you are late.
Yes.
So we must ask ourselves, what is that we need to do today for a better Kenya? And for me, and I ask many Kenyans, who is your MCA? I mean, many of them don't know, but they voted.
Yeah.
So it is so important who you vote into office. And I tell people, don't focus so much on the presidency. Focus on the local leadership, because there is impact. If you have the right MCAs, the county governments will function more effectively. If you move focus now on members of parliament, parliament will function better. If you focus now on the presidency, it will make sense. But focusing only on one position, I don't think it's helpful at all. So the bottom line is, we must reach that point of realizing that we need to make very drastic changes in terms of our mental thinking, and it's what I would call a shift in mindset, so that we make the right decisions. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your observation. I thought maybe I'm crazy because this is the question I keep asking. And the reason why I keep asking this question is because I'm a victim of many wars. I was born in DRC Congo in 1991. I started to live in Rwanda in 93 at 3 years. At 4 years in Rwanda, there was a genocide which pushed many Rwandese to run away. Of course, even if you was there as a foreigner or as a Rwandese, you would still run away. And of course, when we reached there in Congo in 96, also the war came there in Congo. So, and the past 23 years at that time, I believe I have been living and seeing, witnessing many young people die, maybe because they was involving in the army and going those kind of war. Many citizens been killed. And I was coming in Kenya, I feel like it's a safe place, which it is. But I could see there is something we can do, learning for other mistakes other people has been doing. So now, when I was now 22, I ran away again because I could not fit in the place where I can't speak my mind. I can't share what I think I need to be said. Also, I come to be refugee. And I was like, is it the same heritage I'm going to give my children? If it's not, what can I do to make sure that they can be a better place? So now you are sharing what you can do. But public participation is constitution right in Kenya. But do citizens truly influence decision, or they are simply consult after the decision are already made?
Like I did say earlier, and I wanted to look at it to give it a more holistic response.
Yes.
I said citizens are involved.
Yes.
There is public participation,
Yes.
starting from elective positions.
Yes.
They are involved.
Yes.
They are the ones who determine who the president is.
Yes.
But break it down to the normal thing that we know, public participation. And I would say this. We have the 2010 Constitution that shifted the governance structure of this nation. Previously, laws will just be passed by parliament without any recourse to what people think. Today, if parliaments it enacts a law without following the laid down procedures, particularly on public participation, and somebody goes to court, that law is nullified on the basis that there was no public participation. And it has happened many times. And that's why you find that there is a very deliberate move by government to involve the people. But to whether the people get involved or are available to participate in this is a different ballgame altogether. But my submission is that the public is always given an opportunity to participate in decision making.
You have mentioned, and we agree, that for sure people will go to vote, people choose leaders. And so, of course, I don't have someone to blame now. Why don't we see the result of our vote? But I can just lash and say, the volition was made to empower county, yet financial control remain centralized. Can really autonomy exist without physical independence?
We have said it many times, and I can say it here, that autonomy does not mean another country where you're independent. There is interdependence. You know, it's just like the body. You have the hand, and it has clear functions, but it's not independent of the body. So we are one. So we have unitary government. But the governance structure, and I think that's what you are alluding to, we have devolved government. Devolved government, as per the constitution, they have the power to impose taxes at that level and collect taxes. And they do. Some of them are doing very well in terms of managing their own resources. But there is an element of contribution from the national government, which happens. And you have seen maybe quite a bit of discussions like the allocation is not adequate. That is a conversation that has to keep going because money is never enough. You give somebody 20%, they want 30%. You give them 30%, they want 30%. Just like also in normal life. You employ me, give me 100,000. Within, I'm excited, but after 2 months, I want 200,000. You give me 200,000. After 3 months, I want 500,000, and so on and so forth. So I would say that the autonomy has to be looked from that context. Yeah.
I think maybe also, I think sometime when we ask our question, we needed to keep learning and understand how this thing has been done. Public-private partnership promise efficient development, but who carry the long-term cost of investors, the government, or ordinary citizen?
I think you're going to taxation because public-private partnership, and Kenya is a good example where this has worked. Some of these roads we see, I'm not in government now, so I may not speak authoritatively, but some of these roads you see is the initiative of public and government, private sector partnerships. So that is what has helped. And I don't see anything wrong because these projects are funded by the taxpayer. We are actually the masters. So we cannot talk about long-term who is paying. At the end of the day, even the government itself is funded by the taxpayer. Even the loans we borrow, they are paid by the taxpayer. So the burden always has to be on the taxpayer.
So you mean the burden is for, in brief, I mean the burden is on a citizen. So okay, like if the burden is for Lazo, it is the question to ask not you, but can really the leader we have in power use our tax in the right way? In the way maybe 100 years to come, people who will come will look on what you have been doing and say, you know, these people has done something very important.
That's a very important question that you ask. I was in Ireland and for about 4 years. And one of the things that did happen is that Ireland, in a period of 50 years, has moved from a poor country to one of the richest countries in the world within that time frame, because they invested their taxes wisely. They borrowed but invested wisely. The road in network in Ireland is fantastic. So even here, I think the question we should be asking ourselves is how is our money being used? And I go back to what we started with, integrity. If there is integrity in the way we allocate our resources, in the way we fund projects, in the way we get contractors, I think there will be good value for money. And there has to be good value for money. I am not I'm among the people who are very pessimistic. To me, I'm a very optimistic person. And I look at our nation 20, 30 years ago, where we were and where we are. There has been remarkable progress. And one thing I think Kenyans, I really appreciate of my fellow Kenyans is that we are dissatisfied. Why are we dissatisfied? We are dissatisfied because we know where we are is not where we ought to be. We should be in a better place. That is a dissatisfaction, which is very good. It is very positive. So you're not saying that we are not doing well. Just like you have a son who is maybe almost towards the end, But the son has the potential to top the class. So if he improves and he becomes number 10, you still know, no, you can do better. To me, that is a dissatisfaction that we feel amongst our people, and it is good dissatisfaction. It's for better governance, accountable governments, transparency in a financial management. Yeah.
Always when we are speaking about this, sometimes I feel like the people in big position, sometimes my feeling feel like these people, they are above constitution and laws of country. When they done a mistake, for example, for misleading leadership and lead the citizen in a wrong way and lead this kind of we paid the tax, now the tax is being used in a wrong way. For you who has been maybe serving in right position, is there any people who have assignment to go to ask president, we know we have received this tax as a country, and we know we have this activity, and what we can see the money has already in the bank account, but we can't see where the money has gone. Is there anything like that maybe in the leadership of this country or of in Africa like that?
I will answer you in several ways. One, I'll say there is perception. There's something called perception. Perception somehow carries the day. When I was working with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, we would want to undertake a survey on what we'd call corruption perception. What people perceive, they take it as the truth, irrespective of the truth. If I think you are 20 years old,
It's perception.
that's my perception. You may be 30, but I will not want to believe that you are 30. I stick on my 20. So in Kenya, we have kind of confused very many issues. There is too much noise, and the noise somehow covers the truth. So we are not able to know what is the truth, and what is false. And I think that's the challenge our nation is facing. But the governance structure, we have the Auditor General. Every year the Auditor General audits government and comes up with a report. The report goes to Parliament. So we can base our findings, we can base our comments, our observations on the basis of the audited reports that are tabled in Parliament. And that keeps happening from time to time. You hear Parliament is making noise. You have also seen governors appear in Parliament being questioned on the way they spend.
Yes.
So the mechanism is there.
Yes.
But we make more noise, yeah, that kind of cloud these issues. Governors are taken there, they sweat. Because you see, I remember one time there was a shillings, and it became a hot issue. But when we investigated, went into it, it was not exactly so, but the noise. So we need to kind of sieve lies from the truth. Then we comment on the basis of the truth. But as I say, and I'm reiterating, let us base always our comments, our dissatisfaction on the basis of the audited reports by the Auditor General.
So, I will not force this question, but I feel like it's pushing me to ask it. You said always the person you vote in power is the key. Is the key to give us the result. It means if we vote in someone to stand now auditing the big people and is corrupted person, and for mistake maybe also someone who is in that power is corrupted, we understand that the country will go in a mess. Always you will back who voted that person. And I felt like that is what I believe our generation now needed to focus on. It's very important for us to focus who are coming in that place and make sure that that person is taking his responsibility in right way. Um, Kenya is merged as a leader in climate finances, but who benefit mostly from carbon market, the community protecting ecosystem, or the global institution managing the credit?
That's a very political question. And I'm not a politician. I'll keep away from politics. Safe to say this, Kenya is a hub of many things.
Yeah.
And you did explain it very well earlier, that you are from DRC Congo, and you have settled in Kenya.
Yeah.
And there are many people I talk to from various countries, from Somalia, from Ethiopia, even from Europe and whatever. They have come and settled in this nation.
Yeah.
And if you look at, say, for example, even the foreign stock exchange, there are many people who invest there from far and wide.
Yes.
So Kenya is a hub. It's not just a hub on the issues of the ESG as you raise them, or the carbon. No, it is also a financial hub. Monies, people are investing from all these places into this nation.
Yeah.
Kenya is actually what we call Kenya is the capital city of Africa.
Yeah.
There's a time I was watching somebody like you interviewing people in the US,
Yeah.
and US, people are very ignorant. They were being asked, which is the capital city of Africa? And they were saying Nairobi. Nairobi is the capital city of, of Africa. So, and I would say that in terms of benefits, they cut across. For example, look at, say for example, the housing or the construction industry, or the manufacturing industry, or the environmental initiatives that are taking place. They always have an element of creating employment opportunities for these people. The foreigners who come into this nation, they have needs, they have salaries, and they promote even the industries in terms of, say, for example, their personal shoppings, they hire houses, so they pay rent, and the landlord pays rent taxes to the government. So I would say that the benefits are great out of Nairobi being the hub of Africa.
I like that. Nairobi is the capital of Africa. That sounds crazy. If community do not fully understand the technical lure of the carbon trading, can they truly they consider informed and fair? That is the question I'm asking.
Sometimes when you go to the village and start talking to people about carbon, they'll be lost. They'll not understand what you're talking about. But then we break it, even at my own personal level. Plant trees to manage the environment. And when you drive across the country, you'll find there has been a very, very serious initiative of people planting trees. Yes. Because whenever you sit even under the tree, it's very refreshing. So there is that appreciation. But in as far as the carbon benefits is concerned, I know it's still a conversation. People are yet to understand what this carbon thing is all about. It's a bit complex, and maybe the government needs to do more in terms of educating the masses on the carbon benefits. Yeah, I know I did a bit of that when I was serving as the ambassador then, but I think more needs to be done to educate the people. Yeah.
So people need education for taking this initiative for better. SG initiative claim to promote ethical governance, but they are genuine enforcing responsibility or simply shaping corporate image in the public eye.
You know, when it comes to these issues like climate, it's a collective effort. It's collective. Because sometimes we, like in Africa, we are condemned because we suffer the negative impact of industrialization and the carbon issues and all that. But if you have to look at the industries, you know, in terms of pollution, it's heavy. Some of them actually, their waste product going to rivers, which river is dependent, some people depend on those rivers. But when they talk about ESGs and all those initiatives, it's like them, they are doing their best. But truly, they are not. They're actually part of the problem. So I am saying that there is need for, again, a very good understanding and for people to play part. And I know the government has done quite a bit in terms of legislative framework that is available to try and enforce all this and see that it is done. But perhaps we are not where we want to be. You know, all these things are intertwined. Yeah, but I know there are initiatives in every phase, but there is need for us to gain momentum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I say that I will come here and share, I shared with one youth that actually I have a favor to have and talk to you about leadership of this country and in Africa in general. And one question that person has raised is like this: what will be your opinion concerning when you see like there is such a kind of sickness come in US or come in Africa? Then for some reason, American people who are in Africa, America host them in Kenya. What will be your opinion? For example, in 2020, when coronavirus break out, the people who were in power, they said that the American people who have the coronavirus, they can be hosted in Kenya. And for some reason, they believed that there is some people who was sick of coronavirus and they was taken here in Kenya. In this season of Ebola, it was said that people who are from US, who maybe in DRS Congo and found out maybe they have that Ebola, they can be hosted in Kenya. What will be your opinion concerning that? How do you see it? Is it like US? First, when I'm speaking this, I understand. Kenya, we are not on a big level of create medicine. We don't have people who are very skilled like US. When US takes such a kind of decision, is it like they want to finish African, especially because they know many people are here in Kenya, so if they go back in their own small nation, they will die? Is it like they don't care about us? What could be your opinion concerning this?
Again, like I did say, I read a lot in the newspapers about what you are saying. And I did also listen to the government, where the Minister of Health was trying to explain what exactly was going on. So I think there are some issues there that have not come out very clearly. Is that so? Or is that again perception? Because the media sometimes can report what is not exactly so. So I will want to refrain from making comments because I'm not really equipped with the full facts. Because it's always good to comment on the basis of facts, as opposed to speculative messages and opinions that are out there. So let me not go into it. But what I can say is that, it's not in my shoes to say so, but by out of experience, I can, that Kenya is not an island. We network with all multinationals and we partner. Even in the area of research, we have Cambridge around here that partners globally with all other research institutions. I know even as you go into the coronavirus, Kenya was seriously involved in research for cure. And I know there were setups in I think in Kilifi or Lamu there, you know, and we were part of the team that came up with some of those vaccines that was being distributed by the UK. So there is an element of us partnering with all serious institutions to find solutions. And I know it is happening. And we get funding even for that. Yeah. Even the HIV and virus and all that. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah.
So, in your opinion, you don't see any problem, something like that happening? That is the question. Of course, I know I'm trying to force it, like, because citizens, they don't really understand how US can take someone who have Ebola and come in Kenya when they know we are limited in one way. If yes, just imagine it is yes. What will be your information for leader of Kenya?
You are inviting me to speculate and I will not.
Is collaborative governance in Kenya creating stronger accountability, or is spreading responsibility so widely that no one is truly accountable?
I think I've covered that bit when I talked about, say, for example, we have various committees in Parliament that are in charge of transparency. And these are talking about governors appearing before Senate to answer questions. And they're serious questions. That's accountability. We have talked about the national government being audited by the Auditor General. Again, those reports go to Parliament, you know, and there are serious discussions that do happen. One thing that Kenyans, we are, as a nation, we are so happy about is the freedom of expression. It is incomparable. You know, you find people say all manner of things against the president, against anybody. You know, and sometimes it is irresponsible because the kind of things you are saying are actually irresponsible. So that is something we cannot take for granted. The freedom of space, of expression, the freedom of movement, the freedom to do business, the freedom to worship. There's so much freedom around here. You know, even you can go and start a church. And that's freedom of worship, you know, and you'll preach whatever. And sometimes this has been turned out in a negative way. You have had the sad cases of Shakahola and that sort of thing is negative. But in terms of accountability, I don't think that we are passing the buck. It's being faced head on. This is why you'll find every election cycle, about 60% are sent home. Every election cycle, 60%, even sitting members of parliament, MCs, they know. Some of them, 60% go home. And it's not just now. It has been like that. Every elective cycle, many people go home. Where we need to improve, and this is what I want to really emphasize, can we be accountable at a personal level? That you are not going to elect people on the basis of tribe. You're not going to elect people on the basis of how much money they bribe you with, but you are going to elect people on the basis of what they stand for. And if that was to happen, I can assure you, we will have better people, we'll have professionals offer themselves for elective positions because they have what it takes to manage the institutions that right now need help. Like members of parliament, we need to have good members of parliament who can debate issues, who can actually look at the laws that are before them and come up with a good decision. We need governors who are accountable. such that when as a governor you have a vision for your county, that by the time you are out, your term is coming to an end, you have done so much that people can see, that people can relate with. We must start thinking, what kind of legacies are we leaving behind, from those offices? Are we going on to accumulate? Because Africa, and it's a tragedy, we are focusing a lot on what we call wealth accumulation, but not wealth creation. We must focus on wealth creation, because it is in wealth creation that we create job opportunities for the young people. It is in wealth creation that we come up with innovations that help the nation. It is in wealth creation that we generate sufficient resources to fund government by way of taxation. Has happened elsewhere. It's happening in Asia. It has happened in Europe and the Americas and all that. And this continent, it is a ripe time that people took it upon themselves to do the right thing, elect the right people.
I like that. Leadership have like 5 steps: position leadership, influence leadership, achievement leadership, impactive leadership. It means like you impact the people to be leader, and then work with the people you have impacted. When you look behind, in all years you have been working with, in the government, in the churches, which level do you found yourself?
I do not wish to blow my own trumpet, because normally when you start talking about yourself, this is what you have done and all that, you lose it out.
Yes.
You wait for feedback from people.
Okay.
So I would rather people judge what I have done as opposed to me judging myself. Yeah, but I focus on giving my best when I'm in office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Otherwise, this is the last question I was supposed to ask. But for me, I can put you somewhere. I can put you in impacting leader, where you impact other people to be leader. It was interesting. I went for Mazishi burial service of Joy. I know you remember her. And then I heard he wasn't there, but they laid the letter. Joy was written before she passed, that the person who will read her burial will be Ambassador Mubea. I was like, how? And this showed me that you are a person who can be impact people and be trusted with people, and people can count you as right friend. And I'm really grateful. So as I conclude, what is dream of leader do you have for Africa?
For me, I am looking forward to a leader who is focused on leaving a legacy based on the impact on the young people. A leader who, after the exit, will be remembered for many years for what they did. Not because of the things they boasted about, but the things people saw. A leader who was a burden for the nation. A leader who was a burden for the continent. Genuine burden that you have at night you are sleeping, you're losing sleep because you want to see certain things happen. I want to see, like in our nation, when I see some primary schools have not been developed, I feel sad that 60 years after independence, we are there. No, that's the kind of a leader I have in mind.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate and for welcoming us in your place and caring for us for everything. We are really grateful to have you as a father, as a mentor, and anytime we need you, I believe you'll open the door for us again.
It was a pleasure talking to you about leadership, about my experience, and across range of issues that have been bedeviled our nation and the continent. I look forward to another conversation. Yeah. May God bless you, and thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. I tell you, people maybe something this thing you feel like they must assume one day entire Kenyan will watch this YouTube. What will be your message for Kenya? If there was like this assembly where they invite all Kenya to come in one place and you was the speaker, what will be your message is for me?
My message will be simple. Fellow Kenyans, we have the best country in the world. Let us love it. Let us be thankful to God for this blessing of a unique nation. Let us do everything that shows that we love our country. Let us not go throwing papers in the streets all over, but let us actually see papers on the streets, we pick them and put them where they belong, because we have a beautiful country. I have traveled in many continents of the world, many countries, but I can tell you, I have not seen a nation as beautiful as this nation. God bless.
Thank you, guys. I know you're gonna like this. I know this is gonna inspire you. And I pray that this wisdom he has shared, someone is gonna pick it and feel like that is the leader they was talking about and use it. See you next time.